So hello, back in the kitchen again, and these are the parts we need, or the stuff we need. A sponge cut up in a small piece, the 3M30 and the two sizes of wire. And I'm not sure if this works. So nice, yes. It's the 0.172 millimeter of aluminum wire and 0.132. These are the wires we're gonna use. Okay, we need the 30.5. We got the frame. Almost spilled my cheap beer. We also need cheap beer, else it's almost impossible to complete this project, or at least this part. You need a cheap beer. Okay, let's start. I know there is reflection, but that's okay. So, we got the 30.5. Just gonna dump in the sponge. Don't want too much for this first coat, so I just gonna whack off some of whack off. Sounds like something different. And just spread it around evenly, and hopefully this stuff smells, by the way, and not use too much. Gonna wipe it off to this side, so off the membrane. And I'm not being able to use a heat gun right now because it will alter the resonance of the panel. Although it's not critical, it probably will get sloppier if I do use a heat gun right now. So, this is the really clean part. Now I'm gonna give the wire a little coat. So I'm gonna roll it off and then coat it slightly. So I rolled something off of the coil and just gonna coat it in the same stuff. And this is the part where you get dirty fingers. So that's must be in the sponge. Then just grab a wire and pull it through. And I'm gonna do this for this whole length of wire, not the whole spool of course, but I'm gonna drop the wire on the floor next to me so it's able to dry. And I'm just gonna tack it here, not to my finger but to the panel, I hope. So, and we let it dry for a few minutes, and it can dry the glue on the foil as well at the same time. So I'll pause this and we'll continue in 5 minutes or so. So, we're zoomed in a little bit, the panel is dried. And now we're gonna attach the tweeter wire, which is the very thin wire. It had a glue coating as well. I'm gonna leave a piece of wire hanging off the panel for soldering later on. And we're just gonna make the first turn, or the first winding. Just tack it down, and then we're gonna make a little turn. go back, make another turn, go up again. You can hear this tacky now when they both have glue on it. And we go down again. So this is four turns, and we would make it double. So the wire goes back to the start. It's all sticky. Goes back to the start, bearing, and we do it all over again. Oh. I think I mentioned this already, but on a jig this will be way nicer and easier to do. Last turn. So that's one of our tweeters done. Not sure if you can see it, might lower you a bit. You can see the wires lay down on the foil. They're just tacked down, they're not secured yet, but we'll do this later on when all wires are there. We use some glue to adhere everything. So this is a wire we need to keep, these ends. So I'm gonna cut it, I'm gonna break it here, which is not hard to do. Leave them tangling here. We're gonna do the other side. The other tweeter we're gonna do. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit because this is quite close. Let's go up. Some reflection still. I'm gonna coat this wire again. Can't do a huge length at one time because it will all stick together and will not be used. Cannot use it anymore because I cannot untangle it. Add some glue again. Just gonna move the wire a little bit in the air. So it dries faster. It dries pretty quick because it's a very small amount of glue that I apply on this wire, of course. But I think it's sticky already. It's sticking to my finger, so that's a good sign. So let's do this one. Oh, that's the wrong one here. I'll leave the piece again. Make sure later on. Make a turn. Quite doable if you only have to do 4 of them. Boing. Then go back on this. Oh, I'm going to do the wrong way around this too. That's nice. So, leave the piece here. Sit in here, and then move back and forth in between the magnets. Make 9 turns and make them on the wire, because otherwise we'll make noises. So that's 4 wires, and we go back to the start again. I do another 4. Really. Last one. Right here. That's our second tweeter done. So, that's the smallest wire done. Also the least amount of work. So actually we could already apply a signal to it and see what it does, and I'm really tempting to do this, but I am not gonna do it. Because I might not be wanting to do the rest of it anymore. Okay, second wire, the thicker wire, and we do the same thing. Gonna add some glue on it, let it dry, and at high rate. So I'll put the glue on it, let it dry, and then I'll be back. Onto one of the double voice coils. I'll start off here, if it will stick at least. And again, leave a bunch of wire attached to it. This is gonna be crowded, this part. Because there's a lot of wires going back and forth when we're done. Not blue wires, it's not enough, so it seems. So it's a little bit. Might get another go, because it's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be again. I added some more glue to the wires. I'm gonna start over. Bad thing is that my fingers are sticking as well, which doesn't make it easy. Sorry, this wire. I feel you should do this. But I keep doing it without kick. Because well, it's just fine. Next time we'll do it. But it isn't. Everything sticks twice, you make a mess about that. See, it reads like stuff. Like that. Okay. So I need to glue some more wire again, so I will do that and then continue. Okay, let's do the last part of the first, not even the first coil, it's just the first run of the first coil. So it's quite a lot of back and forth. Sometimes the wire doesn't stick very well. I have to fix that. It does stick very well with my finger, of course. So this is the end of the first run. Then I'll go back again on this spacer and we're gonna continue the same thing. Do it all again. I need to re-glue some wire again. So, finally done. So there are two coils in the middle part. One for left, one for right, and they both go around 2 times. So there are 4 wires in between each magnet right now, and for the tweeter part it's only 2 turns. And now we're gonna, it is already kind of fixed, but we're gonna fix it a little bit better with some diluted 30NF. I'll get a new sponge because the other one will stick to it straight away. So I got some diluted 30NF, a tiny bit of water, or tiny, with some water, and the reason is it will give a thinner film. So we want it to be covered, but we don't want to add too much weight. Spray might be a solution, probably. Only thing is it forms droplets, like water does. Easier than without water. All excess glue will end up on this spacer, as you can see here and here. I'll just leave it to dry a little bit now, and then go over it again. I'm not gonna add more. But if I see it will make it makes droplets, then I'll go over it and smooth it out a little bit. I'm really curious how it sounds, really. Especially this double voice coil thing, if it works, if it even works. But after this, if this is dry, I'll glue some solder pads here. Then we're gonna solder the wires, and I'm gonna attach some copper wire to each of these pads, so we got sort of a safe way of connecting it to other stuff without breaking the wire, because that's would be really shitty if one of these wires will break. Then you have to rip it off again, if possible at all, or you might have to clean everything off with acetone or mech. And then question is your miler still nice, or is it also screwed? So solder pads are really important. Only problem is a bit is at hiring the solder pads is not a big deal, but you're gonna heat it quite heavily, and most glues kind of tend to loosen up when you apply heat, so that's the only kind of a problem. But hell, I'll tack it down, solder it, and maybe add some sturdy glue after that. That's an option. You can see it's beating up a little bit and drying at the same time, so I'm go over it some more to smooth it out. Beat as in beat with a D. It's not into a fight, hasn't been in a fight or something. My pronouncing is not the best, so that looks rather smooth, and it should kind of dry up and clear, so it will be transparent again. So let's wait.